Fox Business Alert, Big Brother is facing growing backlash, and that fight is playing out in cities across the country. Asheville, North Carolina is the latest to pull the plug on Flock Safety, which provides AI-powered license plate reading cameras. In a 5-2 vote, the city council scrapped its 11 installed Flock cameras after residents sounded the alarm over data privacy, demanding to know who's capturing their information and how it's protected and who can actually access it. The North Carolina town joins at least 130 other cities nationwide now that are taking action against the technology. That, according to advocacy group D-Flock. And the backlash isn't just hitting local governments. Ring, the company behind video surveillance doorbells, was actually kind of ahead of this. It canceled its partnership with Flock Safety earlier this year, citing privacy concerns. That deal would have made it easier for Ring users to share footage with local police during active investigations. Now, Ring is taking another step to address privacy concerns. Joining me now, live in studio, Ring founder and chief inventor, Jamie Siminoff. Jamie, what do you think about this pushback with Flock cameras?
I mean, I think what we have to get to is a place where we can ensure privacy and security for people, but also have safe communities. And today what we're doing with Ring, with Ring, we've always been focused on privacy and security as a foundation. And today what we're doing with launching Take, which is a new type of encryption, really physically basically gives the key to our customers so they know and understand that their information is locked to them and they get to decide how they want to use it. And I think that's the important place we just need to get to. People
already thought that their Ring cameras were their own property here and that they could decide what to use. How does Take bring it to the next level with this encryption?
Yeah, and we always focus on that, but I'd say this is show, not tell. So this is now going to a point of, if you think about a lock on your door, end-to-end encryption, the stuff you hear about on like your iPhone or WhatsApp, that's a one-to-one. So that'd be like having one key for your lock in your door. So that was the problem. We have end-to-end encryption, but it would break some features and things like that. Take encryption, this new throw away the key encryption, allows you to have you can have shared users, and you can have the features that you want to have with Ring, while also having the same idea of these keys that are out there that you control, and that way you have literally the unlock of your information.
Let me be really clear. I've got a bunch of Ring cameras, and partially because if somebody ever tried to do something, I would like to share that with law enforcement. I'll still be able to do that?
You will still be able to do it. We have the community alerts where police can ask for footage. But again, you then put the key in the lock and you decide when to do it. So you understand what you're doing. You have your privacy and security. You also are able to, help in the community, which we think that's an important balance to hit, which is you should feel 100% and know that you have control over your information. And then, like you said, when something happens, you also want to help out. And you now have that control to take that key and unlock it.
And I can share that key with, say, family members in case I'm unable to respond.
Yeah, and that's the invention that we're trying to talk about today that we're rolling out by default to everyone. Is it took us a while to get to this point where we could share these keys in a way, keep the encryption what it should be, but also have this shared user so that you can have, again, you can get the features that you expect with Ring and not hurt those, but still have that encryption level that you want to have and should have.
Some people are a little torn about the Flock cameras because they've been key, so to speak, in solving a lot of crimes by being able to track certain cars that had been around a crime scene. I mean, in the Nancy Guthrie case, very important case, it wasn't so much that, it was more that even a dead camera, because they thought that her doorbell, that Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mother's camera, was not working, they were able to shake loose some metadata that showed this very frightening creature who had clearly broken in, somehow kidnapped her, and that was months ago. She has not yet been found. So how do you square between law enforcement and the usefulness of things like Ring and Flock with what you hear from your customers?
So, we've created community alerts, where a place that police can ask customers, can you share? There was an incident. We did it when the Nancy Guthrie issue happened, or the kidnapping. We went out and community alerts went out and they asked for footage. And then our customers are able to then share that footage if they have it, if they want to do it. And as you said, people do want to help out in those situations. I think it is important, though, that we keep and really assure people that their information is theirs and then that when something happens, they get the control of how to use it.
We have seen the real benefit of that Ring technology also when it came to the Brown University shootings in 2023. They were deadly shootings, and it was Ring cameras, along with a witness who saw something that he thought was weird, that really led to the alleged Charlie Kirk assassin. I mean, this is really important. So glad that's happening, and glad that there is at least a choice. You had rolled out in a Super Bowl commercial the showcase of Search Party, which was to help people find lost dogs. That kind of was scrapped too.
No, we're still searching. We're still finding dogs every day.
Did you end?
No, we kept it going. We just what we did is there was a lot of, I'd say, misinformation out there, which is really a misunderstanding of how it was working. And so we came to people like you and went out there and talked about it. And so that's still, Search Party's still out there. We're still finding dogs. In fact, we launched a thing called Firewatch, which sadly lately has been used a lot.
You did that here, yeah.
Yeah, we launched that here. But that right now outside of Dallas, there's a fire, the Ross Fire, and we've been trying to help there with giving images. And if you look on the maps, it's actually, we're giving images that are more up to date than the maps themselves. And so helping people to understand where the fire is. Now, again, that's our customers are choosing to help out. They are making that choice. They're pressing the button, say, yes, I want to share this. And that's the key is things like take and giving control. I really do believe that that's the key, because I believe that these cameras can be very beneficial when we give people full control and allow them to use them the way they want to.
Do you have a number of how many lost dogs and lost pets have been found?
I think we were over 300 or 400 dogs now.
Oh, yay.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
Happy ending there.
Yeah, it's a very happy ending.
Great to see you, Jamie.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much.